Hi everybody, it's Mrs. Thatcher with the Kindness Challenge. Today we are going to be learning about ways that we can make kind choices and the effect that those kind choices have on other people. And then we're going to turn that into a kindness story. So we always like to start with a problem. In this case, we're going to use a real problem that happened, and this is a true story. So I'm going to kind of model off of that. Today I brought BB-8 to help me out. This is a Sphero robot, and we're going to code him to go to the 3 choices and see which choice we're going to use in our story. So the problem that we're starting with is teachers are tired and hungry. So we all know that teachers work hard, and we do our best to make sure that the kids have everything they need and that school is a safe place so they can grow and learn. But it does mean that there's not always a lot of time for us to make delicious breakfast before we get to work. So the problem we're going to be working on today is 3 possible solutions to the problem of teachers are tired and hungry. So we're going to use the robot today, and the robot's going to go between the 3 choices, and we're going to code him to one of the choices, and we'll use that choice in the story. So first thing you want to do is have the Sphero app on your phone. It's Sphero EDU. And I'm going to go ahead and switch it to the document camera now so you guys can see what the coding looks like. And I'll pull that up and share it with you guys. So here's the robot. Get him in the camera. Here is the phone. We open Sphero EDU. That's our first step. And when we get into here, we're going to do Connect Robot. Now that'll show us what robots are available. And BB-8 should sync up with the Bluetooth. Sorry, I know this is hard to see. So here's BB-8, and we're going to connect. Once we connect, we'll see that the robot lights up, and now we know that he's connected. And also we'll say on our screen, connected. Now what we're going to do is go ahead and go down to the bottom right here where it has programs. And it's kind of like 3 lines of code. And we're going to start a new program. I always like to save my program so I can get back to it later and work on it a little bit more. So I'm going to call this one Kindness. And now that it's saved, anytime I need to pull it up, I can work on it under that name. So with Sphero, there's always going to be a start button, and that will tell you what is going to happen after you press start. So we're going to go to the program and have it get to one of these planets. So here's the sun, we have Earth, this one's Jupiter and Saturn. And each of these has a different solution on the back. So this one says gift cards, which could be a possible solution for solving the problem. We have this one which says bagels, buying the teachers bagels could help solve the problem of the teachers being hungry. And then our third possible solution is make the teachers breakfast. So those are our 3 choices. I'm gonna have BB-8 go to Saturn just because that's one of my favorite planets. And so if I want him to get there, I have to think about which direction he's going to have to go. So we're going to have him go straight first, turn, and then go straight again to get to Saturn. So underneath start, you'll say on start program, and that's where you click this first roll icon. Now the roll icon has 3 variables, the degree of direction. So this one's asking me for the heading. I want it to go straight, so I'm going to leave it at 0. If I wanted it to turn, I just pull the arrow. This is terrible. I would just pull the arrow and make it to the direction I want it to go. The next variable says at blank speed. So this is where I'm going to change the speed of the program. And in my classroom, I always tell the kids that 100 is the speed limit. So we'll just go ahead and go right up to 100. And then we have to think about how many seconds we want this. So this is the degrees, which direction it's going to go. This is the speed, and then this third bubble here asks me for how many seconds I would like it to move. So I'm going to just pick 1 second just to test out and see how far it goes. Now the next step is you always want to aim your robot. So aiming brings up this blue circle, and I want to touch the blue dot so that it's facing me. So the blue dot on BB-8 should be facing me, and that tells me that he's going to go straight ahead. So if I move the blue, I'll show you guys here. If I move this blue circle, you'll see BB-8 spin around, and that just changes his orientation. We always want him, I always tell my students, it's kind of like his tail light. So we want that to be at the back of him, and he's facing forward. So we're gonna try our first line of code, which says roll forward for 1 second at 100 speed. So we'll go ahead and press start. So he went a little too far for where we want him to go. So what I think we need to do is kind of adjust our program. We either need to change the speed or we need to change the duration of time. So I'm going to go ahead and change the speed from 99. I'm going to decrease it down to probably 75. And then it won't go quite so far. All right, again, I'm going to aim it, make sure that the blue light is facing me, which it is, and then I can go ahead and press play. Okay, so that was much better. He got forward almost to Saturn, and that means we can kind of pick our choice now, which is make teachers breakfast. Now, robots are fun for driving around and coding to go different places. This robot had a pretty easy code just going forward to the planet. If we wanted a more complicated challenge, you probably would want to spread these planets out around the room so that everybody could spend a little bit more time coding and getting them where we want them to go. So we got the first part forward. We do want to make sure, and I know I moved this, so I'm messing it up now. We do want to have it turn and go all the way to the planet. So I'm going to bring it right back. We know that our starting distance is the right amount, but now we're going to have to add the turn. So I add another line of code. This time I change the heading to 90 degrees or 270 since I'm going to be going left. And I'm going to keep the speed the same, 75. I like to always keep the speed the same for every line of code, and then that way the robot is kind of being consistent. And then I know that 1 second is going to be way too far. I probably only need about a half a second. So I'm going to put that for my last line. The trick is also to always start at the same spot, because then we can make sure that the program is following, we're not changing too many variables, that we keep the consistent starting point. So let's see, forward, turn, and let's see if he got there. It looks like he's right there at Saturn, and he's gonna make his choice of making teachers breakfast. So we'll be able to use this in our story now to add to our kindness story. This will be our choice of what we do to solve the problem. Even though these are good solutions too, bagels and gift cards, we're gonna go ahead and go with the making teachers breakfast for our story. And now I'll go ahead and model the writing for you guys. Hi everybody, it's Mrs. Thatcher with the Kindness Challenge. So today our challenge is to write a kindness story. And so we are going to be writing about the solution and problem that the robot was just doing previously in the video. Now, BB-8 had to look for 3 possible solutions to the problem. Remember, the problem was teachers were hungry and tired. So that's a real life problem that we were faced with. And the 3 solutions that we had were gift cards for the teachers, bringing bagels for the teachers, or making breakfast for the teachers. So BB8 chose making breakfast for the teachers. So I want to model what the writing part of that looks like. I'm going to go ahead and share my writing screen with you guys. And this is the document camera, which will show the worksheet. Now this is the worksheet you can print. Also, you could just draw this on paper, no big deal. The first thing is always to identify the problem. So in this situation, the teachers who work really hard to help educate the kids, they were very hungry. I am tired. And then this one, it was very hungry. So we'll give her a speech bubble too. I am hungry. So we have the problem. The teachers are tired and hungry. And the three possible solutions that we had come up with were, remember the first one was gift cards. So that means that to solve the problem, we could definitely get some gift cards. That would help not have to make the breakfast, and also we could get something to eat. The second solution was bringing bagels, which is very thoughtful and kind. That would solve the problem and show the teachers that they're appreciated, but also that you know, they had enough thought to think that the teachers might want something delicious for a breakfast. The third idea, which is the one that really happened, was the Tower of Pancakes. So this was make breakfast. So in the story, the problem is going to be that the teachers are tired and hungry. The problem solver in the story is going to think about these three ideas, but then choose this one, make breakfast. So down here in the choose a solution, now I'm going to draw the kind person. And this kind person, who's going to be my main character in my story, he chose I will make breakfast. Oops. Not all gonna fit in there, sorry. I will make breakfast. And in his hand, I'm gonna draw the spatula because that shows that he's the one that is making the kind choice to make breakfast for the teachers. The object in his hand shows the action, right? And then the last question is, what difference did you make? So this is what you want to think about if you are trying to solve a problem in your world or in your house or your neighborhood, and you want to make sure that you picked a good solution. One way to tell if you picked a good solution is to look at the difference that was made. And so in this case, here's the teachers again from the first picture. And now he is thinking, thanks, because he didn't have to make breakfast. He was so tired. And now he doesn't have to do any work to make the breakfast. He just gets to enjoy it. And here's the girl teacher. And she also is not hungry anymore. So we'll say, I am full. So this is kind of our brainstorming sheet where we think of the problem and identify it. We brainstorm possible solutions, choose one of the solutions, and then we think about what difference it makes. So now we can turn this into our story, kind of the character. And so in this story, our character is going to be this boy who's really kind. And he is going to be down here thinking about what problem he's going to solve. And so this is the problem, was that the teachers were tired. I am tired. And this teacher was hungry. I am hungry. All right, so now we have to write the words that go along with the picture. So, a boy noticed a problem. The teachers were tired and hungry. He wanted to help. And I'm going to page number this one 1. This is my first page of writing. Now, if you're in kindergarten, you might not write 2 sentences. You might just write 1. You also might not know how to spell all these words. You might have to sound some of them out, and that's okay. So the second page is about where we write the possible solutions. So here's our kind friend again. And he is now thinking about some ways that he could solve this problem. So we're going to use the 3 choices that BB-8 found for us earlier, and those, we're going to think about them. 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here. So the first one was gift cards, and that was a nice solution. A possible solution is buying gift cards for the teachers. The other one was buying bagels. And bagels are a delicious treat that would help solve the problem of the teachers being tired and hungry. But this kind boy wanted to do something a little extra. So here he is. And he has thought about what if he did something like make pancakes for all the teachers and make breakfast for them. So that's the one he's going to decide on. We let BB-8 vote for us today, and he went to Saturn, which was make teachers breakfast. So that's the solution we're going to use today. In your story, you can think of a real life solution that happened, or you can make up your own story about something that could happen. So the boy thought about how he could help. He decided to make breakfast for the teachers. All right, that's my second page of writing, so I'm going to write a number 2 down here in the page box. Now, the third and final page of my story is going to be about the difference that was made. It's important to think about the difference you make, good or bad. So sometimes we make choices and they have a really good effect on others, like making breakfast and helping the teachers to be happy. Sometimes we use unkind words and we make a difference in hurting people's feelings. So it's really important to think about our actions and make sure that we're doing things that make a positive difference. So our last page now, I'm not going to have the boy down in the corner. I want him to be part of the picture. And the reason for that is because he's the one that is doing the action. So I'm going to draw his hand out. And again, I'm going to make his spatula. And then I'm going to draw Mrs. Thatcher here because this story really did happen. And I want you to see the effect it made. So I'm going to draw a big smile on Mrs. Thatcher's face. And also I'm going to draw a plate of pancakes. And then my speech bubble is going to say, thank you. Because I'm really glad to have gotten the pancakes. You can tell that this hard work and time that the boy spent was appreciated by me because I'm enjoying the pancakes. I have a big smile and I'm happy. So the last page is going to be about the difference. The teachers, because it wasn't just me that was so happy. The teachers were so thankful that the boy helped them. He made a difference. So that's the end of the story. I'll make it at page 3. Good readers and writers always go back and read their work. So let's do that. A boy noticed a problem. The teachers were tired and hungry. He wanted to help. So the boy thought about how he could help. He decided to make breakfast for the teachers. And here you can see the 3 solutions that he was thinking of. The teachers were so thankful that the boy helped them. He made a difference. The end. The important thing is when you're thinking of a way to help others that you come up with a plan and you follow through with your plan. Now, it doesn't always have to be something big like making breakfast for all of the teachers. It could be a small thing, a small act of kindness that you show someone in your neighborhood. So whatever problem you see in life, if we approach it with a kind heart, we can help improve a situation.